Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Off the Dome show. Missed you guys last week. Had a very terrible migraine to deal with. And y'all know me. I don't give less than 100%. If I can help it, anyways. So we're here. It's good to see y'all, as always. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far. We got to talk about last night's game, which was insane. And oh, by the way, there's so much I got to dive into. Last night's game and how it ended. Just everything that went down before the shot was kind of crazy, and I want to dive into that as well. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are together officially now, which was unnecessary, but we'll get into that. And then for my wrestling fans out there, Money in the Bank tomorrow. I know there hasn't been a whole lot of build because, well, that's what happens when you have a bunch of pay-per-views in between each other. You don't have enough time for anything to breathe. That way you can have some hype heading into the show. But Money in the Bank is tomorrow, so we're gonna dive into talk about some predictions for that. So let us know as we're going through the show what your thoughts are on everything that we're going to dive into today. It's greatly appreciated. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, whether it's on YouTube or on X. Appreciate y'all. Every single person that takes the time out to watch, appreciate it. It's all love. So today, what a game. What a game. Game one was last night. Between the Pacers and the Thunder. You know what's weird? I was watching the game last night and I was like watching it saying, okay, well, if the Pacers are going to win this game, they do have to keep it close. And the first thing that came to mind when I thought about that perspective was what Denver did against OKC in the semifinals, where at game one was a lot of back and forth going on, or if there was some sort of a run to be had, it wasn't particularly close to it. I mean, it wasn't particularly a blowout where we could say we need to just get ready for the next game. Like, yeah, you may have went on a run, but we're still right there. We ain't going away. And I thought that was what was needed to be done in order for the Pacers to steal game one last night. And that's exactly what happened. I just want to say this too. What a chess match between Rick Carlisle and Mark Daigneault. I hope I said his name right. Those guys, like, it was awesome. It was awesome to watch the amount of different ways they were trying to create mismatches for the other. When the game started out, you saw a lot of Siakam on smaller guys for OKC, which was kind of weird. It was kind of like they're hoping that the offense could go through Siakam, who, by the way, just came off of winning the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So that was kind of weird to start. But as it's been heavily notated and discussed, the amount of turnovers that the Pacers had in the first half was insane. And I thought even if you didn't want to address the turnovers as a huge factor, the one thing that I did notice was that there was a lot of offensive rebounds that OKC had between whether it was Shea, not Shea, whether it was Chet, whether it was Hartenstein, whether it was Dort, even Shea got a couple himself. Like, it was like there was just a lot more effort that OKC had in the first half. And then when we got to the third quarter, you're watching and it's like, yeah, they're committing turnover after turnover, but the Pacers defense is still playing so solid that it's not a 15 to 20 point lead. It's actually still a 10 to 5 point lead. So it's not even like a blowout. And then the fourth quarter happened, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, all right, well, Mark Daigneault gotta like put either big man, Chet or Hartenstein in there, and they didn't come into the game until I think that last possession. And I was sitting there and I was like, did I miss something? I don't think Chet was in crazy foul trouble. Because that was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, maybe he's in foul trouble. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta just figure out what you're gonna do. But that wasn't the case. So it was kind of like, well, what is going on here? Because I don't see either big man out there at all. But I see Miles Turner and Siakam on the floor. Like, I see the whole starting five out there. And you start seeing Wallace, who played solid, by the way. Played solid, but it was like, okay, well, this cannot go on the whole rest of the game. And I just thought that Indiana, they just kept plugging away, slowly but surely. Every single bucket, you kept seeing E. Smith have a three going. Then Haliburton was getting a layup in there, and then you just started seeing crazy stuff. You started seeing Miles Turner hit a three on the wing that hit the backboard and banked it in. Like, when I started seeing stuff like that, like, I was kind of like, okay, this is not going OKC's way. And so I did have an issue, and I do think that Mark Daigneault saw that, and I think he's gonna make that adjustment come game 2. Whether it leads to them being more dominant, I don't know, but I do think that not having to play either big in that stretch in the fourth quarter was huge. That's ultimately what costed them the game defensively. And then also, like, especially towards the end, OKC started missing some good looks too. Like, it wasn't like all contested. There were some solid looks. Some of it was in the restricted area, just missing. And it was like rebound after rebound by Indiana. And then when you start getting into one of their strengths, which is running the floor and being ahead, that's ultimately what that became. The last 6 minutes on was basically all that. If OKC missed a shot, there was a rebound, and there was going to be 2 to 3 guys waiting for you on the other side of the half-court line. Like ultimately, OKC fed Indiana into what they like and how they like to play. And that ultimately led them to bring it closer and closer. Because like I said, they were playing solid defense all game long. It wasn't like they were just like getting lazy out there, leaving people wide open. Like, if someone was left wide open, it was just a breakdown off of an offensive rebound that OKC had. It wasn't necessarily that they were playing bad defense. It was just, all right, look, we didn't get the rebound. someone's open because I was trying to get the rebound and the paint, couldn't get it. Someone's open at the court. You know what I'm saying? Just usual basketball stuff. But Indiana Pacers were playing good defense throughout this entire game. That made the game relatively close. So, of course, when their offense started picking up, it was only a matter of time before something crazy happened. And then let's address the crazy. The shot. Mind you, I want to make something very, very clear. Tyrese Haliburton did not have a crazy game last night. He didn't. He did not have a great performance. He ultimately had 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. He was 2 of 7 from the three-point line, 6 of 13 from the field. So he was off last night. And it didn't matter. Now, what helped a lot was Obi Toppin started playing like he was Kevin Durant or Steph Curry on drugs. He had 5 threes last night, which was insane. I was watching, I'm like, Dort, Caruso, y'all don't see that guy over there that's just knocking, just lacing. Y'all don't see him? Y'all don't want to switch it up? Nothing. It was kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. So he had Obi Toppin showed up. Damn, he had the second most points in the team. That's crazy. I would never realize that. Siakam did his thing. But Haliburton didn't have the typical Hallie game. He didn't. But that boy different. That boy is different. And look, he called for the ball. He wanted the moment, and he took it, and it went in. And it was a fantastic. Just the whole entire possession was insane. Now I don't know if we want to chuck it up to, because I didn't watch the play all day today. I don't know if it was more so of him finding a mismatch in Kassan Wallace that was the key component, or it was the fact that OKC they wasn't apprehensive in regards to noticing that he had the ball. I think because if you watch the play and you see how they were defending everybody, they were waiting for either Dagnall to call a timeout or that I genuinely don't know. But the number one question I had after Haliburton hit the shot was, why is Kassan Wallace on him? Out of all people. Now, not too much on Kassan Wallace, because again, he had a solid game himself, but Kassan Wallace guarding Tyrese Haliburton, who's 6'6", and especially in a mid-range, is going to have a better chance of making it than anybody else. Kassan Wallace? That was my ultimate, okay, what was that about? I thought, especially in that situation, if you didn't like Shea, which I totally understand, if you didn't like Shea guarding him in that situation, Lou Dort should have been there somewhere. And he wasn't. He was near the paint. And it was I guess in my mind, it was kind of Literally no one else is getting the ball but Hallie. Why don't y'all put y'all best defender on Hallie? Now, hey, again, this does not take away from the fact that OKC was up 15 at one point in the fourth quarter, I believe. It did happen. This does not take away the fact that OKC was missing some. They were missing some easy. I wouldn't even call them easy. They were good looks and missed them. This does not take away the defensive performance that the Pacers had, because they were playing solid on defense as well. This does not take any of that away. It doesn't take anything away from the shot, anything like that. It was a fantastic play. It was a legendary play. It was just, my question was just like, why wasn't there a switch there? Because it was already bad enough that you don't have Chet or Hartenstein. Like, you didn't really have a big. So it was kind of like, okay, what is really going on here? So I thought that was a misstep on Dagnall's part. On top of that, he had a timeout. So if he didn't like the look, which I'm pretty sure deep down he did, he had a timeout left. But he couldn't get it off once the rebound happened. So it was kind of like he was kind of done. It was kind of a done deal. But shout out to Indy. They're up 1-0. They stole a game on the road. Game 2 is on Sunday. And I saw this too. Haliburton, to be able to do this in every single round of the playoffs is ridiculous. And I love it. I really do. I love it. I appreciate it. It's awesome. It's awesome. And again, this is another game where, as long as the Pacers are in it, they have a chance. There's that. There is that. And I just want to, let me just address this now, because, and I'm not even saying it with hindsight, because I was believing it long before the series even started. The amount of people that thought that this series was going to be boring, or that it was not going to be entertaining. What are y'all talking about? Game 1 didn't even start yet, and that's what the discourse was when it came to this series. Oh, it's 2 small market teams, and it's like, I'm like, you know what? Y'all don't like it because y'all don't have y'all superstars in there. The old superstars, that y'all don't want to embrace the new ones in Haliburton and SGA and, you know, so on and so forth. And it blows my mind because this series embodies great basketball on both fronts. Do you want to see great defense being played? Do you want to see great offense being played? Do you want to see personality in the team? You got it in both. Do you have great head coaches? You got it in both. The list goes on and on about all these different metrics that's necessary to make this a good finals. And all I was told was that, well, it's the Thunder and the Pacers, so it's really not worth the watch. How does game 1 look for you? Like, come on, seriously. And it sucks that we even have to really discuss this, because last time I checked, if you enjoyed a game of basketball, it shouldn't really matter who's in the finals. That you're just going to enjoy the game of basketball for the sake of enjoying the game of basketball. Unless it's stuff like, I don't know, something that there's literally no purpose in watching because we already know what the outcome's going to be. For example, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Golden State Warriors. Those years between him and basically LeBron, yeah, okay, that was not entertaining. But you want to know what a lot of these people that are saying that is boring? They said that was entertaining. Huh? Sweet. You find that entertaining? Okay, I guess. I guess. Most of the games in those series between those teams weren't even competitive, like at all. That's more entertaining than before Game 1 of the Pacers and the Thunder. Gotta do better. We gotta do better with that, man. So yeah, huge shout out to Indy. Huge shout out to Haliburton and the rest of the crew. It's still Game 1. See y'all on Sunday in OKC for Game 2. Let's see what adjustments are being made. I mean, I would like to think that as far as OKC is concerned, Mark can't make that. Not having, if you don't want to do double big, okay, fine. But to not have either one out there in any situations like that, I thought that's no confidence. But hey, I love it. It was a live chess match between two coaches, and it was fantastic. I love it. Let's hope that they can do it all over again for Game 2. I just love seeing great basketball, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Last thing before we get off of it, I want to address the hate that OKC has during this playoff run. It throws me off. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. It throws me off because look, the way that people are talking about OKC, you would have thought they've been good for like the last 10 years or something. No, just 2 to 3 years ago, that the Oklahoma City Thunder wasn't even swift. It wasn't even sniffing the playoffs. It wasn't doing what it's doing now. It wasn't doing any of that. And by the way, this is a team that was constructed in such a manner that is a model for a lot of NBA franchises to follow. Outside of Caruso and Hartenstein that they traded for in the offseason, everyone on their roster was drafted by OKC. Or traded earlier on by OKC. They didn't sign a LeBron James. They didn't sign a Kevin Durant. They didn't sign a primetime superstar to join them so that way they can get to where they are now. They got here organically. And last time I checked, I thought that was something to be greatly appreciated for. Now we're just kind of hating on them because they got the talent. I don't know. They got the talent. They got the MVP. So we're just giving them unnecessary hate. Okay, cool. I don't know. I find that kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie. But that's just me though. That's just me. I'm not even going to take too long on this one. Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, after what felt like forever of everybody and their grandmother knowing that he was going to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he is now officially assigning. He's officially a Pittsburgh Steeler as of June 5th. Now, want to put in the perspective of how crazy all this has been and how unnecessary it is. They signed the deal yesterday, which was June 5th. The season starts in September. So you already missed OTA. How good did that do for you last year? Playing for the Jets. Not so well. Now, there's going to be so many people. Oh well, he didn't sign his team yet. Really? That's the game we want to play. That's the game we want to play. What negotiations are you having with a 39-year-old quarterback? No, I'm sorry. 39, 40. 39 going on 40. What negotiations are you having? Do you want to be on our team or not? Well, I mean, if we're being honest, the way free agency usually goes is that we want you, we want to sign you. Here's the deal. Put your signature on it. We'll see ya. But Steelers are doing things a little bit different because it's Aaron Rodgers, I guess. But I don't know. But the time frame just is unnecessary because I just mentioned that they signed the deal June 5th. Season starts September. There were so many news outlets, NFL media, us, Team MBS media, might add. I mean, the list goes on. Everybody was saying, well, free agency already happened, and the only team that don't got a quarterback yet is the Steelers. And this was before the draft. It was like, well, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. He's 41. 41! Anyway. So when free agency went down, they ain't signed nobody for real. It was like, oh, great. Awesome. So I guess just Mason Rudolph. Great. Then we went through the draft where, especially when the whole news about Sanders was coming out, we figured, okay, well, I guess the Steelers are going to take him at 21. They did. And then we had, and by the way, the draft was in April. We're in June. So 2 months later, you say, you know what? Come on, man. You know I'm going to be joining y'all. You know this. Really? Really? And to make matters worse, you had to go to this division that has Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. I know the Browns have like 5,000 quarterbacks, so we may just excuse them. But the Ravens defense, the Steelers defense that has TJ Watt, Ravens defense that has Roquan Smith, Adolphe Owe, Myles Garrett. Like, are you sure? I don't know. And then it gets even more weird because he's going to show up for minicamp next week. And then after the minicamp's over, he's going to go away again. And it's like, look, man, look. Usually I wouldn't care about, because it ultimately it's not any of our business anyway. But I don't really care what you do in the off season as long as you're able to be productive in the regular season. Okay, cool. But for guys who have clearly shown that they need time, they need that chemistry, they need that development to gel with their counterparts, like Aaron Rodgers, you wasted way too much time. So guess what? Now that you sign up finally, now everything's rushed. Yeah, you may have threw some passes to DK Metcalf. Do you know the offense? Do you know what the ultimate goals are for the offense as a whole? Are you going to be able to know how to operate with that? What if they want to run more and they don't want to involve you at all? Then what? Oh, well, I didn't think it was going to be like that. I thought I was going to do what I wanted to do. I'm like, nah. So it's kind of like, I don't really know what we're doing right now with Aaron. But with the Steelers, as far as Steelers concerned, Steelers wanted another rental, as if they didn't have another rental last year. And Russell Wilson. And Justin Fields. Yeah, both. And look, maybe their expectation is to still mess around and get 8-9 wins, which I don't think that might be happening. But it's Mike Tomlin, head coach, so who knows? But I nah. This whole thing was unnecessary. So unnecessary. And like I said, it is, I don't know. Start off with the Jets week 1. I guess this is a nice little segue. We can do predictions. I'm gonna do a predictions real fast for the Steelers. I'm doing by team basis. Okay, so let me make sure I establish this now. So if I do your team, I'm doing it based on what you have done in the offseason, what you did in the draft, and how I think you fare against the other team based on your schedule. So just because I say that they're going to beat your team doesn't mean that when I get to your schedule that means it's an automatic loss. That's not how I'm doing it. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, Steelers are visiting the Jets. 1:00 game, revenge game, right? Is there a world where they win that game? Yeah. Are they? No. So they're 0-1. They didn't got Seattle at home. Revenge game for DK. I mean, revenge game for everybody. I could see Sam Darnold getting harassed by this defense. So y'all win that one. Steelers, Patriots, going on the road to New England, which, given how the Patriots have been the past couple of years, not really that much of an uphill battle. But, okay. Y'all win that game. 2-1. Vikings at home. It's a loss. So 2-2. Browns at home. I think y'all take care of them because they're the Browns. So 3-2. Bengals loss. 3-3. Packers loss. 3-4. Colts. Y'all win that one. So 4-5. Steelers Chargers loss. 4-6. Bengals lost 4-7. Bears lost 4-8. Bills lost 4-9. Ravens lost 4-10. Dolphins don't win that game. They're at home. So that's 5. Lions. Am I doing this wrong? I think I am doing this wrong. Lions lost. Browns lost. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Browns, they'll lose because they always split the Browns for whatever reason. Browns are lost, and they got the Ravens. They got the Ravens last game because the Ravens will already be in the playoffs. So it'll be an under 500 season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it wouldn't have anything to do with Mike Tomlin because the defense is going to be fine. They're still going to be the same physical team that we all know the Steelers to be. They're going to lose half these games because Aaron Rodgers did not gel well with the offense. He's getting sacked a bunch. He's getting picked off. I'm just saying. A lot of these games are going to come down to the fact that he doesn't have great chemistry with the rest of the offense. And it's going to literally cost him games. It's not going to be a great season. This is a 6-win team. I said it. This is a 6-win team. So, Aaron taking this long, this whole fiasco of having to wait until June to get a deal done, unnecessary. But that's just my prerogative now. It's just me. An innocent bystander. Hands up, don't shoot. Before we get into the wrestling side of things, with Money in the Bank showing up tomorrow, I got some commercials for you. Let's check them out.
In 2006, we founded Yeti Coolers with a simple mission: build a cooler we use every day if it existed. One that was built for the serious outdoor enthusiasts rather than for mass discount retailers. One that could take the abuse we knew we'd put it through, out in the field and on the water. One that simply wouldn't break. We decided early on that production innovation would come from necessity and first-hand experience, not from market research and data analysis. Today, Yeti products perform when it matters most. Whether that be an excursion into the remote Alaskan wilderness, chasing redfish on the Gold Coast, or just getting together with friends in the backyard, we make gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Off the Dome Show. I am your host, Thomas Brown Jr. on the 1 2 2s, as always. Those who have missed it, we're talking about fantastic game one that was last night between the Pacers and the Thunder, with the Pacers scoring game one after Haliburton's clutch jeans showing up in effect, which was awesome. Also, just finished talking about Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh, which I'm just glad that is no longer a conversation, at least for now, anyways. But on to some interesting prospects here. Money in the Bank for WWE is tomorrow night. Money in the Bank. This is one of their best. I can't say pay-per-views anymore. PLEs, premium live event that they have throughout their calendar year. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with Money in the Bank, it's a big deal because that PLE determines who is going in. They have Money in the Bank ladder matches for both the women and the men, and whoever wins the match, they have this briefcase that they could use to cash in on any champion at any time, anywhere. And track record shows that if they do cash in, they usually win the title. There's been some outliers, unfortunately. But that's the magnitude of Money in the Bank. Okay. So there hasn't been a lot there hasn't been a lot going on just because of the fact that they have literally had 2 weeks to build the thing from Saturday night's main event, which was 2 weeks ago, by the way. So let me see. I'm gonna start with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match because this might have an opportunity to be the best ladder match for the women for the Money in the Bank, I think, ever. Genuinely. Listing the names that's in this match, this might have an opportunity to be the match tonight. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Let me see. So we have Alexa Bliss, we have Roxanne Perez, we have Rhea Ripley, we have Julia, we have Naomi and Stephanie Baker. Yeah, I'm working on getting the names right now. Let's get the obvious no-nos out there. Okay, I don't even like calling them no-nos, but they just, if they won the match, it would be like, okay, that was unnecessary. Rhea Ripley is number one on that priority list. I love Rhea Ripley. I do. I think she's awesome. She does not need the Money in the Bank. If she wants to have a title match, she can get it without asking. Literally, she could just look over there and then be like, oh, I guess I have a world title match. Cool. Like, she doesn't need the briefcase. Julia, I don't think that she'll win it because I think they're already doing a story. They're ultimately going to do a storyline with her and the U.S. Championship with the women's on SmackDown with Zelina Vega. So I think ultimately that's where that's going, which I don't hate. I think Stephanie Becker could win it. But I feel like if she did it, it would be kind of hard because she's a face. So it's like, and I've told people this all the time. If you are a baby face, if you are a good guy that wins the briefcase, the journey's not going to be the same. Unless you're cashing in on a bad guy that's so credible that it's worth it. Which there has been cases where that's been the case, but that's not usually how it goes. So Stephanie is kind of out. Roxanne, the problem is Roxanne is with the Judgment Day. I feel like she's going to have the opportunities in the future just off of her being in that faction alone. So I think because of that, she's not winning. So it's between Alexa and Naomi. I think you just have to give it to Naomi. Like, I just think you have to give it to Naomi. I love Alexa Bliss. I love everybody in this match. I think this match is going to be awesome. But I say Naomi because Naomi has the storyline ready-made between her and Bianca Belair when she gets back healthy from her finger injury, and Jade Cargill, which, by the way, I do think ultimately within the next few weeks or so is going to be the women's champion for SmackDown, which is perfect because that can segue into whatever the hell Jade could have. She could have a feud with someone else that doesn't involve Naomi, right? And that could set up the catch in for Naomi. I just feel like it's like a layup if Naomi wins it, because Naomi in her character as a heel, she's done such a spectacular job of just being completely crazy. And it's been incredible to watch week in and week out. And I just feel like she's earned it. She's earned it. And I feel like her character could make her having the briefcase a much bigger deal. So I'm going to go with Naomi now. We'll go over to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. I think I'm gonna go with Becky on this one. I think I'm gonna go with Becky on this one only because I know ultimately they're going to integrate Bayley when she returns, and I do think that she returns to Raw. And when she does, Becky will win. Becky's gonna talk her trash, right? And then all of a sudden, Bayley's music hit, huge pop, right? Comes down there, beat up Becky, talks her trash, holds the title up in the air. That's your next feud. I just feel like that's 1 + 1 = 2. So we'll go with that. Or if you want to integrate Lyra and say Becky won off of her cheating to win, I don't hate that. I actually would like that. That being a triple threat would be huge, actually. So I would go with Becky winning it, and either it leads to it being Becky versus Bayley going forward, or it goes to a triple threat. I love it. I love it either way because their program has been fantastic so far. Underrated, actually, to be honest with you. Okay. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Solo Sikoa, we have LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano. Yeah, because AJ Styles or CM Punk could not be better options than El Grande Americano. Anyways, I understand that a lot of people, and rightfully so, because I used to be on this bandwagon as well, that LA Knight should win. Here's the thing. That's probably not going to happen because of Seth. I think Seth, with him having his new faction, I think they're going to do something similar to what they did when he had the briefcase back in 2015, I believe it was. And when he had that briefcase, boy, oh boy, it was so much fun. It was entertaining. Every single week was entertaining, as far as his segments go. Now, am I saying that it would be as entertaining with LA Knight? It would, but like, okay, let's say he wins it. Like, who is he going to cash it in on? Jey Uso? Oh. Okay. I'm not cashing on him. I'm sure not cashing on John. No, I can't see that. I can't. So, and those are two champions. I don't think that's going away anytime soon. So, why not you just put it on Seth? Because Seth will be justified for taking either one. He feels like he should have been world heavyweight champion weeks ago when him and Jey Uso against one. He could just be a shark with that, or with John Cena talking about how he's going to take the championship and leave and retire and everything. About how, you know what I'm saying, how basically he's going to eliminate the future of the championship. I could see a world where Seth, even though he's not a babyface, could say, well, I'm not going to let you ruin wrestling. I'm not going to let you ruin the future of what I'm building here. So I'm going to take the win. And you'll never know. I don't know how that all comes about. But I would definitely, it would be much more believable for Seth to win it and run around with it than anyone else, especially with the faction that he has. It would suck that they get involved and he wins it that way. But I am also sensing that CM Punk or Roman Reigns comes out to try to get their hands on Seth Rollins. I do think that happens. But I think it's Seth. I think it's Seth. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, John Cena, Logan Paul. I do not care about this match. This is unnecessarily filler for John Cena on his retirement tour. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. I'm going to keep this straight and sweet. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso have to win the match because Jey Uso cannot afford to have a loss before he goes up against Gunther the following Monday. So that kind of writes itself. Is that it? That's the whole card? No one else? Nothing else? We got the ladder matches. Intercontinental. Oh. Yeah. WWE, I need to work for your schedule. Nah, for real. Jeez, only 5 matches, huh? All right, well. Okay. So yeah. So again, it'll be Money in the Bank tomorrow night. 7. I get these times mixed up all the time. It does not happen that I am getting different times. So I want to say 7 p.m. Eastern time for Money in the Bank. Go check it out. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I think it's going to be a great time. I think it's going to be a great watch. It's going to be some surprises. I do think that it's going to be a lot of fun. So check that out. Game 2 of the NBA Finals is on Sunday on ABC. Very excited for that. The WNBA is starting to kick up a little bit. So I've been enjoying that. I haven't been comfortable enough betting on any WNBA. So hopefully I can have some intel on who to look for. That way I'm not losing money left and right. If that's what I decide to do. But sports as a whole is in full swing. And I love it. This is awesome. So again, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you all for tuning in to the Off the Dome show. Like I said, we missed last week had a bad migraine. Didn't want to put myself less than 100% for y'all to see. Would have been a terrible watch. But we're here every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Just me being foolish, and me being silly, and me being very candid about anything and everything sports, lifestyle, entertainment. So appreciate y'all so very much. Also, let me make sure y'all mark the calendars now. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so unless something changes, and I will keep y'all updated, if there is a change. Mark the calendars for July 11th. Yes, that is the day before someone's birthday. We'll have a very special episode of the Off the Dome show, where I don't even necessarily want to call it an interview, more so of a conversation with a special someone in my life that y'all get a chance to meet and to know and things of that nature. Where we'll dive into practically everything. How she tolerates my foolishness, everything relationship related, what brings us together, things of that nature, just the whole nine that involves us, and gives an opportunity for y'all to meet her and to know more about her, and how great of a job she does to keep me sane and keeps me happy and keeps me at a place of peace. So, July 11th, keep your eyes on that. Mark that on your calendars. It'll be a special edition of the Off the Dome show for that. But again, thank y'all so much for checking it out today. Check our website out at teamnbsmedia.com, where we have a lot of our writers that drop content for everything, and I mean literally everything. Shows, sports, music, everything. So check that out. We also have tons of live content. Some of the content that we have on YouTube as well, not just with Off the Dome, but Foul on the Play with Christy Love, the last word, or the final word. I get it mixed up all the time. Last word, final word. With Greg Rector, my lovely Cowboys fan. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So we got a lot of outlets that y'all can check out and enjoy. So again, thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next week. And what the hell? What the hell? What the Haliburton? Wow. Y'all be safe. Love y'all.